Do 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 do.
On review mode, we watch the movies that you want, then we share all reviews.
Ah, hello there. I didn't see you come in. I am Dustin Barnes, Master of the Tones. And today we are going to have a fascinating tale told to you. It is, of course, the greatest of tales. The story of Jurassic Park, in which dinosaurs come face to face with their greatest nemesis, man. So, let us just open the tome and begin.
Bargain reviews. It's a bargain. Whoa. Okay, due to some weird, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey thing, I'm suddenly a Whovian, and also, all the Bargain Reviews episodes no longer exist, so we're starting fresh. Apparently, somehow, I'm still part of the review universe, but also, my name's no longer Claymore Cutlass, it's, Ben Bronson. And as we approach the arrival of Jurassic World, I'm here to review the first film in the series.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Which is based on a novel by Michael Crichton that is a complete ripoff of John Bronson's Carnosaur, which was written 6 years earlier. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Scientists combine dinosaur DNA using the genetic material of contemporary species to fill in the gaps, albeit they use chickens instead of frogs. The project hits some snags, people are killed off by raptors, there's even a ranch full of dinosaurs. Sure, Jurassic Park replaced reporters and deranged nymphomaniac wives with paleontologists and chaoticians, and swapped out a rural English countryside for an exotic isle off the coast of Costa Rica. Regardless, Bronson's novel was poorly adapted by Roger Corman's film of the same name.
The Earth was not made for us. She was made for the dinosaurs. The Earth was scaled to their dimensions. Human beings are ants crawling through their living rooms.
Which spawned the fun Dino Crisis Aliens mashup that is Carnosaur 2. And the horrid Carnosaur 3 Primal Species.
Genetically reconstructed replicas of prehistoric dinosaurs.
But they were wrong. Carnosaur 3.
As well as the abysmal Raptor, which cannibalized stock footage from the first 3 flicks.
After thousands of years, man has fallen to the bottom of the food chain.
And speaking of Dino Crisis...
From the creator of Resident Evil, Dino Crisis.
What a wonderful game series. I mean, you start off with Jurassic Park meets Resident Evil 1, but Dino Crisis 2 really shines. What with its zany dinosaurs, which vanished from the past because of human time travel experiments, and are accidentally brought to the present, only to be sent to the future via the Noah's Ark plan. A future in which humans no longer exist because they've either left the Earth or have gone extinct, so dinosaurs can continue to live there. But another time travel experiment accidentally sends a present-day Cindy to the future, and Regina, the protagonist from the first game, which is part of this weird, like, paramilitary organization, her group, who experienced the time travel phenomenon from the first game, don't know about the future humans who use time travel to send dinosaurs to the further future. And at the same time, you also have these future humans who are the descendants of the current people, and they're mute, and they have weird disc weapons. And there's this awesome combo system where you can rack up kills because dinosaurs come at you in waves, and you can use your combo points to buy even more awesome weapons. It's just a great game. But, you know, Dino Crisis 3 was really awful. Dino Stalker for that matter. Where was I? Hello? Is there going to be a Jurassic Park review in your Jurassic Park review video? Hi, I'm Jeff Goldblum, and I play Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park and The Lost World Jurassic Park, boasting groundbreaking special effects that hold up today, including Stan Winston's lifelike animatronics and Industrial Light and Magic CGI, animated by pioneers who understood animation thanks to their earlier experience with stop-motion work and their collective adoration of Ray Harryhausen, as well as an iconic John Williams score, a well-rounded cast including yours truly, and a solid Spielberg pace. Jurassic Park is, to paraphrase my character's Kong reference when we approach the park gates, the eighth modern world wonder of the world. Fantastic modern monster movie theme park thrill ride, sullied only by subpar sequels. 4 out of 4 Brundleflies.
Wasn't that a riveting tale? I particularly like the part where he didn't even talk about Jurassic Park at all. But what's the difference, really? Man versus dinosaur. We've heard it before. But let us see what else there is in store for us. But of course, the story must continue in The Lost World.
Hello, Review Universe. Guess who's back? In the original Jurassic Park, a group of experts, a couple kids, and a blood-sucking lawyer were brought out to a theme park on the island of Isla Nublar, off the coast of Costa Rica, to go over the park and give final approval. And this was going to be a park that's main attraction was going to be living, breathing dinosaurs. The Lost World Jurassic Park takes place 4 years after the original, and we start following Dr. Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. He still has a bit of the humor that he had in the original one.
Sarah! Sarah Harding! How many Sarahs do you think are on this island?
But you can tell that, he's also got suffering from the experiences that he had. He gets invited to the estate of John Hammond, who was the previous owner of the company, but now control has been taken away from him.
You have watched your stock drop from 78 1/4 to 19 flat with no good end in sight, and all along we have held significant product assets that we have attempted to hide at great expense when we could have safely harvested those assets and displayed them for profit. Enormous profit. Enough income to wipe out 4 years of lawsuits, damage control, and unpleasant infighting, and the one thing, the only thing standing between us and this windfall is a born-again naturalist who happens to be our own CEO.
Now then, John Hammond tells Dr. Malcolm about a second island where the dinosaurs would be raised for a short period of time until they grew up a bit, and then they would be brought over to Isla Nublar. Hammond is going to send a team out to the island just to observe and record what they can, because he wants to get public support to leave the island alone. One of the members is his girlfriend, a paleontologist, who's already left for the island. So instead of, scrubbing the whole thing off, he makes the team leave even quicker so that they can get there and save his girlfriend. There's no tension there, because literally within minutes of being on the island, they find her. But almost as soon, helicopters start flying in with more people and more staff and more equipment. And it turns out that this is the team that the nephew has sent to the island to capture dinosaurs and bring them back to a park on the mainland. And this is how he's going to recoup the money. This movie's biggest problem is that it's a sequel to Jurassic Park. In the original Jurassic Park, we were presented with questions that had interesting debates could be had about them. If you clone something, do you own it? This movie doesn't really touch upon those very much. There's just one sentence goes by. Team Malcolm mentions that, we've come here to study it, you came here to strip mine it. The nephew says, we own these dinosaurs. They are extinct animals. They have no rights. And the greatest theme in the original Jurassic Park was science has a great amount of power. Now then, just because it has that power, does that mean it should use that power?
You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I don't really see any idea or theme that comes close to that level in The Lost World Jurassic Park. Not a lot of character development that goes on in this movie. The person who I think has the most character development is the big game hunter that's been brought in by InGen to help with the capture of the dinosaurs.
All I want in exchange for my services is the right to hunt one of the tyrannosaurs. A male, a buck only.
He eventually comes into a position where he does take down a bull T-Rex, but afterwards he doesn't really care that much about it, because his friend that has been on several missions with him before gets killed by velociraptors. So really it's a good popcorn flick, I gotta say that. There are very good action sequences. The don't go into the long grass scene. You can see them moving, and then it takes a shot up and you can see these dinosaurs coming in from the sides, just slowly creeping in. There's a scene where, the T-Rex is rampaging through San Diego. That's a cool scene, and there's many people argued that this was much better Godzilla movie than the American Godzilla because of it. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars on the popcorn movie scale. If we got it standing next to the original, I'm going to go siding with the original every single time.
Wasn't that an exciting tale? My only complaint is that it had too much of everything else and not enough of that Vince Vaughn. What a strapping fellow he is. Slightly too much of that Julianne Moore. Oh well, we can't have everything we want. But the story doesn't end there, and in fact, I saved the best part for last. But don't take my word for it.
This is how you make dinosaurs?
This is how you play God.
And now to the third part of the trilogy, Jurassic Park Beyond Thunderdome. If The Lost World feels sort of like a mini-series that was crumpled together into one film, where it was originally supposed to be 4 episodes, I'd say that Jurassic Park 3 feels more like the pilot of a failed Jurassic Park the series show that was supposed to be sort of like Land of the Lost. Drawing unused ideas from the second novel by Michael Crichton, this film really has barely any story to tell, and it might feel pretty redundant to those people who've already seen the second film. In a scene that probably was actually behind-the-scenes footage later dubbed over to work as a scene in the movie, someone approaches recurring character Dr. Alan Grant, played by Damien Thorne, and writes him a check with a bunch of zeros at the end.
I've chartered an airplane to fly us over Isla Sorna, and we'd like you to be our guide.
Which convinces him to go back on everything he had previously said about refusing to appear in this sequel and accompanying them. Little does he know that the reason that they are going to the Lost World Island is to find the son of William H. Macy and Téa Leoni, who somehow is surviving on the island. Accompanying Dr. Grant is his equivalent to Mutt Williams from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, who's really there just since we need at least one idiot character to make the idiot plot move forward. The film doesn't seem to know quite what to do with its recurring villain dinosaurs. For instance, the Velociraptors have been modified into tribal groups who are able to communicate to Dr. Grant via dreams and are able to communicate with Mutt Williams via an ocarina that he constructs with a 3D printer.
They can talk to each other.
To a degree we'd never imagined.
Meanwhile, the T-Rex is around just long enough to get himself neck snapped by the new giant deadly dinosaur in the movie, the Spinosaurus, looking very much like a theme park attraction animatronic rather than an actual living dinosaur. The lack of suspension of disbelief is only amplified by the rather disappointing computer-generated effects. Maybe the only dinosaurs who come off the least bit menacing in the film are the pterodactyls, who appear in a scene that, once again, was stolen from a section of one of the Michael Crichton novels and has just been inserted here with no real context, because it does really seem like they came up with a bunch of scenes that they wanted to put in a third Jurassic Park movie and then sort of had to glue together some vague concept of a film to make them work together. Sort of like Temple of Doom. That's not to suggest that Steven Spielberg had much to do with this particular film. He decides not to direct and instead hands over the reins to Joe Johnston. And as much as you would think that the director of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids would be able to handle a film like Jurassic Park, it seems that that is not the case. So while the third chapter simplifies the plot so that it's not as convoluted and impossible to follow as the second film, they did it a bit too much, and they dumbed down everything along the way. And like a ringing satellite phone that keeps going off at the most inopportune times, this film is sure to annoy you to no end, and it's pretty sure to give your Spinosaurus some indigestion as well. So call in all the branches of the military to come in and blow up this movie. And remember that I put the cool in cynical.
A grim, somber ending to a story, in which we've all learned that the greatest of all creatures is not man, but the noble Velociraptor, who has gone through many trials, but has emerged on top. If only there were more to this tale. Oh wait, there is! Don't forget to watch the upcoming film, Jurassic World, starring that handsome devil Chris Pratt.
We have a new attraction.
Oh, I'll be seeing you later.